Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Planet for Dead. Welcome back to the channel, and you're looking at something blank. What's going on? All I'm going to say is this is not a Warhammer video, but as always, if you like my videos, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, drop a comment down below, everything like that. But I wanted to do something different today, so I bought something completely different at the weekend. Ordered it from Goblin Gaming and it arrived this morning. A small package. It's different game. It's something different, something I wanted to try, and I like the look of, and it could be give it something fun to do. I bought some Rumbleslam figures. I actually got this pack for Lords of the Ring and this other one, which is Enchilada, because I thought it looked funny and could be something different to paint. It may or may not be a game system I get into, but something completely different. So let's crack open this little box. Let's see what we got in there and get going, I suppose. So Rumbleslam, made by TT Combat. Not paid subscription at all or anything like that. I'm not getting paid for this. So what you got some little cards, which are all to do with your different halflings and everything like that, which is pretty cool. They come in a little sleeve, so you got Halfling Wrath, you got Peso Completo, Halfling Limpio, Halfling Exotico, Halfling Technico, and Halfling Rudo. So Rudos would be your heal characters, Technicos are your good guys and stuff like that, apparently, and everything like that. So these are all Lucha Libre halflings, essentially, which is pretty funny and pretty cool. There's something completely different, and it's something I just wanted to go try out and everything like that. You get bases, which are clear acrylic bases, so there's 7 bases in there, which is pretty cool. And then you got your models, which are mainly resin cast as well, so they're going to perform a little bit different from everything going on. And let's see what we've got. So we have in our figures, so a little bit of assembly. So you got your good guy with a long cape, you've got this chap here, and you got him. You've got the referee, you got this one, and then you've got the bigger chap, which this leg also goes with him. Why they're different plastics, I have no idea, and that arm as well. So yeah, something completely different to build and play with, and I suppose we should really crack on and build them up, get them trimmed down and everything like that. Catch you in a second. Right then, so as you can see, all I'm doing is I'm trimming off all them excess bits from the models, and cutting them out off them little bits of, they look like sprue but it's not sprue. The thing with these models are, they are mainly resin models, they are not mainly plastic, so they have a different feel and they react differently to paint. What you'll need to do is, because these are individually moulded, unlike Warhammer models for instance, wash them off in warm soapy water, just to get off the releasing agent that they would put on for things like the moulds and stuff like that to get it out. Otherwise the paint won't take. Talking of painting, as you can see, I've base coated models in Mechanica Standard Grey. I'm painting up the guy with the cape. He's the only one I've actually finished so far, because I wanted to get this video done as soon as I could. And I'm painting up Flesh Tone, which is Cadian Flesh Tone for this one. Make sure you paint up everything like that gut or anything like that. Gives you a really good fun little model to paint, in all honesty. It's quite interesting and a bit different from painting Warhammer models. As you can see, it's a lot smaller than a Warhammer model as well though, so it is a bit more kind of fiddly in a way. Then here what I'm doing is just applying Reikland Flesh Shade. It's a great tool to have. Reikland Flesh Shade is for painting up any flesh, especially kind of like pale human flesh or anything like that. because it gives a lot of definition into the recess areas and all the creases, folds in skin between fingers and toes and stuff like that. Even on the bases of feet, it looks pretty decent and it works quite well. And then all I'm doing is finally going over the flesh again with Cadian flesh tone once again. Doing this, it stops there being too much contrast between the Reikland flesh shade and the skin tone, flat skin tone as well. If you do, say like if you use Kislev flesh over the top, it wouldn't look as good. It would look a bit yellowy and a bit too kind of odd and a bit a bit weird. It doesn't work very well. But doing this way, it matches the tone from underneath that Reikland flesh shade quite nicely. Then moving on to the actual attire of this little wrestler, I'm painting up the white lines, outlining the trunks that he's wearing, the mask and some other bits and pieces using white scar. Now what you can see what I'm doing is applying some war flesh as the base for the main colour of the mask, the trunks and the back of the cape. It's a great colour to have. Because it's a dark green, and you want to apply a light green over the top, you don't need to use any shade, which is handy. And then what I'm doing is I'm using Warpstone Glow as the brighter shade of green. It's a nice, quite vibrant green, so it looks really, really good. Does quite well for the model as well. And because Lucha Libre, you want them to be quite brightly coloured and to stand out a little bit more. There you can see I'm just painting over the top of his mask. This took a couple of actual layers to get it quite right and to get it quite nice, looking quite flat. So it's a little bit tougher on the back of that cape, on that smooth cape and stuff like that. And then painting the inside of the cape, I'm using Corn Red as the base coat. Again, it's another one, you don't really need to apply any kind of shade over the top of it if you're going to use, say, a brighter red over the top, so it works really good, quite well, and a little bit less faffing really. And once that was dry, I'm applying a layer of Wazdaka red as kind of like the edge highlights for the folds in the cape, and I also used it on the little kind of like wrist kind of things that he's got on him and stuff like that, the little like sweatbands that they could be. And because he's a halfling, he has really bushily, hairy feet. So what I used dryad bark on them feet, on that hair. I haven't actually gone over it with a highlight or anything like that, so I've not done anything like that, so you don't need to worry too much. It's barely noticeable, the difference on there. The kind of the depth of that hair kind of pattern works quite well anyway. And then all I've done to add a little bit of extra detail, I've done a couple of red lines on the top of the mask, Haven't done them anywhere else. I probably could, but I'll work that out once I've painted up the other models, and I can work out a kind of a better kind of pattern and scheme to make them stand out a little bit more. And that's it, guys. So fairly simple, easy to do, nice little resin figure. The whole set hasn't been done yet. I haven't finished them all. I've got a few more to do. I've made a couple of, one or two of them I need to change up a little bit because the skin tone doesn't look right, and the others just need some more detail putting on them. But they are a good fun little model to paint. Quite impressed. I've seen Rumbleslam for quite a long time and I've never really bothered looking into it. So I thought, why not? I've got a little bit of cash somehow, and loads of points for what I could get. I got them from Goblin Gaming, so yeah, I bought them as they'd open back up. As I will say though, guys, and I said earlier, as these are resin models, and as with all resin models, make sure you wash them first in warm soapy water, allow them to dry. It'll get all that releasing agent off them, and the paint will perform better on them. If you don't do this, paint will kind of rub off them as you handle it, so you will end up with chips of paint missing from the model, which isn't very good. It looks pretty crap, but you get some really good ones. So these aren't the only resin models that I've ever done. I've also done a Blood Bowl Minotaur, who is a big bugger, and I got him for a birthday, I think last year, it was, from family, and he was really good fun to paint. He's quite difficult and he's quite tough. Occasionally with resin models, you'll get bits where there's air pockets in them, and so a lot of holes and stuff like that over the model. You can fill these in easily with liquid green stuff. You can smooth them over. You can just try to paint over them and layer up paint inside them, and it will get rid of them as well. Although that's not always recommended because it can be a bit of a pain in the arse and it can ruin the model eventually. But yeah, it's not bad. As always, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm happy with it, so it's not too bad. But yeah, drop a comment down below. I'll respond to you as soon as I can. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and the next video will probably be back to regular Warhammer style stuff, or something, I don't know yet. Who knows? But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye now.